The marketer has to, first of all, think of a strategy, who to send the email, what to send, etc. Then they have to write the copy, they have to design the email, then they have to segment the use. And often there are so many different segments and so many different email campaigns. And then they have to automate and create different sequences, etc. And all of it takes a lot of time, several weeks, sometimes several days, sometimes. And we realized that with AI, it is now possible to automate all of these work. So last year, we started thinking around it. We started identifying and mapping the journey of every email marketer. And we realized that at each of this step, an AI agent can do the work. The marketer can just prompt, review, and publish.
Welcome to Taste and Tactics, where founders and go-to-market leaders share how they brought their boldest ideas to life. From concept to execution, we cover every step behind these iconic launches. Join me each week for both inspiration and actionable tips. I'm Shriya Nevatia. Let's dive in. All right. Thank you so much, Aquib, for joining us. Really excited to have you here today.
I'm very glad that we are on this podcast.
Cool. So let's dive into everything. And first off, I'd love to hear a little bit more about your background, kind of education. You started off in tech in India and then came to the US. So tell us a little more.
Sure. So I was born and brought up in a small village in Bihar, India. From a very early childhood, my parents wanted good education for me. So I went to the best engineering and school and business school in India. But I always wanted to start something of my own right from my college days. So after graduating from my MBA, I joined a startup in a founder office kind of role. There I was doing everything from like very small Excel work to managing large campaigns. And slowly I got into marketing there. When I explored roles after that company, I was easily getting a lot of marketing roles. So I kind of got into marketing by accident. And finally, I was heading marketing at a company called ClearTax in India. It's like TurboTax there. It is also one of the first YC companies from India. That was a great learning opportunity for me because they just raised their seed or series A round, and I joined them to build their whole marketing function from scratch. So building the marketing team, building and the whole different functions for them, identifying what is working, what is not working, experimenting a lot. So that was a very interesting part for me. Then I realized that it had been 5 years for me and I wanted to start something of my own. I had already paid my education loan and had met all my financial liabilities. So I thought that this is a good time. I started exploring different ideas. That marketing was my core skill set. So I should play by my strength. And I narrowed down to marketing SaaS ideas. And then Mailmodo was one of the ideas then. To basically the idea was to make emails more interactive and actionable. What I realized from my experience at ClearTax is that no matter how much of improvement we do in the email, the user have to open it, read it, click on a link, then go to the website, log in there and do several other steps to complete a simple action like updating their tax profile. So I realized that sending millions of emails is not that important. Making them useful and actionable for end user is more important. So I started Mailmodo with that simple idea, tested few companies. We got very good results. We got into YC, we got into Sequoia Search, we raised our seed funding, kept on growing. So it has been now 5 years and the journey is still going on.
That's awesome. One thing I love about that early story, you said that your first test like alpha customer was Razorpay. So share a little about how that showed you that this had like really real traction.
Yeah. So when we just had this idea that to make emails interactive, we didn't have any customers. And our hypothesis was that it will increase conversion by 20 to 30% on an average. We were looking for somebody to like validate this hypothesis. And somehow I got connected with somebody at the marketing team at Razorpay, and they said that they are willing to do an experiment with us before committing anything to us. So what we did was we ask them if they are sending any kind of emails which requires a forms or interaction, and they were sending an NPS CSAT kind of email. And what we did was 50% of their users got normal email where they had link to a form which was opening in a web browser, and 50% of the users got received our emails, where the whole form, the survey, was inside the email, and people could take action then and there. To our surprise, a lot of people engaged with that form, and we got 257% increase in conversion compared to the normal version of the email. And that was like very surprising to us because our expectations were quite low. We thought that it could be a fluke, so we tested with two another campaigns, and in all of those we got similar results. So that was the foundation of our company, our hypothesis, and we started building the product from there.
That's awesome. So, okay, you've been working on building this company since COVID, 5 years, 5+ years, and now you're building AI agents and actually working on the marketer's life, kind of that like back end part. So, what's this whole new product?
Yeah, so we realized that we have simplified the life of a recipient of an email by making their journey shorter and making them click less. But we realized that for marketers, it is still a lot of work. After 2024, we also realized that a lot of teams have become smaller. There have been layoffs. One marketer has to do more and more work now. So we realized that even today, the marketer has to first of all think of a strategy, who to send the email, what to send, etc. Then they have to write the copy, they have to design the email, then they have to segment the use, and often there are so many different segments and so many different email campaigns, and then they have to automate and create different sequences, etc. And all of it takes a lot of time, several weeks, sometimes several days, sometimes. And we realized that with AI, it is now possible to automate all of these work. So last year, we started thinking around it. We started identifying and mapping the journey of every email marketer. And we realized that at each of this step, an AI agent can do the work. The marketer can just prompt, review, and publish. So we created different agents. We started with email copy, then subject line generator, then journey creator, the segment creator, and then finally we did the full email design as well. And then we connected all of those different agents together into one piece, as where a marketer can give a single command. For example, hey, I'm launching this new product or new feature, and I want to send an email to all the active users in last 90 days about this huge sale that I am doing. And our agents will work together to create the audience, create the strategy, campaign, copy, design, and send the emails as well. And we still want the human in the loop, so that because it is a end customer conversation, and even today there are hallucinations, etc. So we want to have human in the loop. So but the human work now is reduced to giving a command and reviewing everything is right. Rest everything is done by agents.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so yeah, you said that it took about 6 months to build this, and then your launch campaign about a month ago had like multiple different components. So one that I'd love to talk about is people are not just launching on the company social media. Now it's been much more successful to launch with like this founder-led marketing or even employees or the rest of your network. So how did
Yeah.
you get that going? How did you think about it?
Yeah. So, founder-led marketing or branding have been working for us since beginning. I think the very first few customers either came through my network or through my LinkedIn profile. So we thought of using the same, but this time I also wanted my employees to be advocate or brand ambassador about of our new launch. So we created a story like what all we are going to talk about. We mapped the whole customer journey, problem that they're facing, what solution we are building, etc. And we gave it to everybody. And we also asked our team members how, as a marketer, like if they are marketing in the marketing team, how as a marketer it will impact your life, and if they were part of other teams
Mm.
tech design, etc. We also ask them what components of it they worked well, and we created simple prompts for them to write the post. AI also helped them, like a lot of them use ChatGPT. But what we definitely made sure that everybody in our team posts about it. We also reached out to some of our investors. They also posted about it. We also shared with our customers, and some of them were really happy to see the outcomes, and they also posted about it as well. So as a result of it, for a few days, like all our social circle was buzzing with our launch, and like we had a launch video which also got more than 100,000 views in total. 30,000 views came alone from my profile itself. We got more than 50 shares of my post, which is a lot. And I had like more than 500 likes on my LinkedIn post, and there are a lot on Twitter and other things as well. So I think that maximum outcome came from my own profile and employees' profiles, and also people cheering us up with like supporting us and liking our new product release, because it was also very new to them. No other email marketing tool has done it yet. There are a lot of like website builder, app builder with AI, but email building and making sure that an email designed by AI works across different email clients has been very difficult. That's a lot of people supported us from the community.
That's awesome. I really like the way that for employees, you didn't say like just share the launch or share the launch video. It didn't look like a
Yeah.
pure ad. You gave them a way to relate back to the utility of the product.
Yeah, that's very important. Otherwise, people will see it as a just a advertisement and they will not engage with it.
Yeah. So what were those plain text or were they in addition to the video? Like how did you set that up? Did people post multiple times or just once?
Some people posted multiple times, some people posted once, some people just shared my posts or company post, etc. But we had given them the asset like, okay, these are the videos, graphics, etc. These are key features of the new launch, the Mailmodo AI agents, and most people already knew that. So it was not like they had to be educated because we are not that big yet. But what we definitely did was we gave them questions like how did it impact your life, or how you contributed to your this launch, etc. And we asked them to choose one of those angles and
Mhm.
create on that.
That's great. Yeah, I really like that. And then let's talk about this launch video. So you a really cool thing. Obviously, it had great outcomes. It's like 100K, 30K views from collectively, and then 30 from you. But you created the whole thing with AI. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we didn't prepare a lot for the launch. We were like working towards building the product, and our earlier estimation was that we would be launching it in January, but we realized that we should launch it sooner because we were already there, and so we didn't have a lot of time to like really plan and do everything. We also realized that a lot of other AI startups are creating like amazing videos, and I reached out to them and realized that it cost like tens of thousands of dollars. We also didn't want to like spend that kind of budget because it is like generally like 1 day or 1 week kind of a spike. After that it dies down, so it didn't seem like a cost uh, worth doing that. So we thought that let's be creative, what else we can do. And we realized that in our team itself, we have been creating some AI videos. We realized that we can probably create a really cool launch video with AI. So we started brainstorming. We thought of different stories, and we like narrowed down on one story in just like one call itself. One of our team members, Sabayat, she like wrote the whole script like line by line, and then our video editor and she worked on creating multiple scenes, because with Google VO3 you can only generate 8-second videos, so the scenes could not be longer. So we generated different scenes. We imagined everything, like what the person is doing in this story, how the story is transforming from one scene to another scene, and what is the final outcome, what is the messaging, and what is the copy, the like voiceover, etc. So we wrote down everything. We also used ChatGPT to improve some of those parts, and then we used Google VO3 to create multiple all those scenes. We kept the character consistency as well, and then our video editor just stitched the whole video together in one form. I think the initial video was something around 90 seconds, which we reduced to less than 60 seconds later on by editing some of those parts, and all of it like costed us just $50 in total and less than 4 days, I think. So in just like 4 days, we created and like a lot of people thought that this is a real video. We had to tell them, no, this is not a real video. This is AI. Like the people were asking me, hey, how did you hire this actor? How much did they cost, etc. But in actual, it was just all AI. Nothing is real about that video.
It's really cool. I mean, I've seen it. We'll link to it in the show notes. What's the can you just share the little storyline that it has for
Yeah,
people
sure.
who
So
haven't seen it?
we thought that we had like different storylines, but finally we agreed to the storyline where we thought about the marketer and how his or her life would change after getting Mailmodo AI. We realized that with today they spend so much of time in creating email campaigns, like I was explaining earlier, from like strategy to copy to design to actual campaign execution. It generally takes weeks. What would happen if Mailmodo AI comes in their hand? What would reduce into minutes, right? Or maybe an hour max. So they would have plenty of free time. And what would be they be doing in free time? So we also wanted to make it a little bit funnier and humorous. We met we met the actor or the main character, not a real actor, but the main character do weird things like juggling the balls, playing in the park and all those things. And then we reveal that, okay, this guy is doing all of those things because now he has Mailmodo AI, which has reduced all the work, and he has so much of free time that he's finding new hobbies. And we want all marketers to be like that. So that is the storyline, and it was not very hard to execute. And I feel that with like in probably next 12 months or so, even like this 8-second limitation would be removed, and people will probably be creating full launch videos with just a prompt.
Totally. And I'm curious, like, because all of us, I'm sure, are using all of these tools all the time and trying to keep up while they get better and better. Do you have prompting advice to have like this character consistency, realistic, unique backgrounds? Were the prompts like very elaborate? Did you have like the same kind of like thesis set up every time?
Yeah. So
What would you recommend? Yeah.
yeah, so I didn't do that, so I can't take the
Yeah.
credit. My teammates do that. But we did was we converted the story into JSON format, and in the JSON format, like each screen was defined in a very detailed manner, like the sky color to the grass color, and everything was
Wow.
defined. We also, for character consistency, we took the previous output and we merged with the next output. So we have also created a full
Mm.
how to video and how to document for this. We can share it in the same video along with this.
Well, that's awesome. That would be so helpful. That's fantastic. Anything else that you learned from building this video? Like if you were creating a video again or recommending to another founder creating like an AI launch video, what would you encourage them to think about?
I would recommend them to think more about the story. We honestly didn't have a lot of time to spend on the story, but if you have time, if you're starting now and if you have plenty of time, I would suggest to make the story more interesting, more funny, so that people can remember the story. Because creating the video is easier. Making a very engaging video is more important.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Kind of stop people in their tracks on that feed. Very hard. Always scrolling on the feed, even LinkedIn. Like it's even though people are looking for their career, there's still an endless list of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of other things that you tried were you did a product hunt launch because you had done it for the original Mailmodo product, and it didn't work out as well as that time. I'm really curious why you think that is, because usually it's kind of the gold standard for B2B SaaS, especially. It's tech people talking to other tech people.
Yeah. So the first time that we launched on Product Hunt was in 2021. And I think a lot has changed from since then till now. One thing is probably during COVID period, most of the people were online, and that I see that the engagement on all the social media channels are reduced. People want more real life things, so that could be the reason as well. Second is that there has already been a lot of AI launches happening on Product Hunt, so it is from a product hunt point of view, it is something not very new that people are already saying AI to do this, AI to do that, etc. Third is in general, probably the mix of audience is also changing. Um, so that could be the reason as well. So I'm not very sure like all the reason, but when we launched first time in 2021, we had like uh more than 1,000 signups when we didn't have brand or anything. This time, it was much lesser than that from Product Hunt. Overall, we got very good traction. We had like 3x uh, more than average daily signup that we get on that day, but the percentage of Product Hunt signups were quite less.
Yeah, yeah. And then okay, the last component, which again was more successful, similar to the video, was working with tech influencers. And so I'm curious, like, how did you source and vet these creators? Did you give them free reign to create the content, or did you give very specific frameworks? Just tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we didn't have much idea about influencer marketing before, but I learned from some of my founder friends working at other AI companies that influencer marketing has been really working for them. So we thought of starting that for ourselves as well. So what we did, we figured out who are the influencer who would be relevant for us. Like we focus on AI and marketing space, and we like, first of all, like it is difficult to get the contacts of like every person, but we like reach out on their Instagram profiles, we reach out on their Twitter profiles, etc. We created the whole list, filtered out the list which are relevant for us. So we filtered out like very large celebrity influencer because those are very costly. We also filtered out our very small like influencer who are just starting up. We also filtered out anybody who doesn't come from our niche of AI and marketing. So we narrowed down the list to very small number of influencers. So we started reaching out to them, and it took us actually few weeks of time to negotiate the pricing and get the idea out, agree on the content and everything. But we gave them like free hand on to create the content according to their own style. We didn't ask them to create like a video in our brand guideline or anything like that. We wanted to make it natural, and like their audience is familiar with their content style and they have been liking it. That's why they have been following them. So it makes sense to give them total free hand to make the content according to their own style.
Did you do any like UGC style, like having someone who didn't have a following themselves talk about it, like an ad for you, or was it all people who had their own following and they were just creating their own organic video and marking that it was an ad?
It was all for their followers, all organic video. They also tried our product. They tested our product. They were convinced that this is something that is useful for their audience, and only then they created the videos. It generally took us on an average about 2 to 4 weeks for each creator to work around it. So, an advice
Mhm.
for somebody who's trying to do it now is to make this conversation beforehand so that and decide on a date that you're going to launch on this date and you want all the videos to be on that date. For us, most of the videos came after our launch. So may be a good thing or it may not be a good thing. So if plan accordingly.
Yeah, did you see that if they were releasing gradually over the next week or something, like did that help keep the spike in traffic and signups up, or do you feel like in the future you would do it like all in the day?
Yeah, so in the future, I will probably do a lot more. I will also do it on the day, but I will have a consistent uh, like production across number of days over a period of a few months so that the number of signups or the traffic or whatever metric you're measuring that remains consistent. You can also see which influencers are working well and you can do repeat engagement with them as well. We are doing that with some of the influencers now. We saw that their audience relates to our post a lot. We also do one thing where we post like one video on one day and we try to see what is the delta change in our traffic or signups, etc., because of that video on that day. So it is very difficult to attribute otherwise, but we are like staggering all the influencers as well so that we can measure what is the outcome of each influencer. So we see for some influencer the spike is really high, for some influencer it is just normal. So we focus on those who give us a spike to do more videos with them.
Totally. And I always like some personalized recommendations rather than just people like Googling and finding 20 spots. So there's a lot of like influencer lists. Did you have a sourcing platform that you found the most trustworthy or useful for figuring out who to reach out to and filtering out the huge and the tiny?
So there are a lot of tools out there, but our team did it more manually. Like we research our own influencers.
Okay. And then what would you say was do you know off the top of your head, like the sweet spot for the follower count range that worked for this for a B2B product?
So it depends on a lot of things. Uh, it number one thing is your budget as well. Like if you have like millions of dollars to pay, you can easily go with like the top tier influencers who have very huge following as well as very huge trust. But the cost would of course be very high. We didn't want to do that because we were doing it first time. We also wanted to do it as an experiment and see the results first. We went ahead with more like mid-range influencers who would who generally have like about 10,000 to 50,000 kind of follower range. So not very big, not very small, but people with niche followers.
So I'm curious, like this was only a month ago. So um yeah, I'm curious kind of maybe mainly from the planning process, the different pieces of the marketing that you did. If you did launch this again today, would you add or remove any of these different promotional channels and campaigns?
Yeah, I will. First of all, I will start planning much ahead. I will work on the story in much detailed way. I will probably take help from somebody, an expert, or talk to more users before creating the story as well. So, but that is a factor of time. So, I will spend more time on the story and overall launch. That's number one. Second, I will double down on the influencers thing. I will prepare the list of influencers and like establish relationship with them beforehand so that they can help me double down on the impact on the launch day. Third, I will definitely do the founder and employee branding thing. I think that we nailed that. That would definitely be there. There's nothing that I would remove from the launch list. Like we have done all of these things. Probably what I would additionally add is some kind of paid advertisement for during that period, which we didn't do.
Hmm. Do you have you done paid ads before? Like which platform do you think is working really strongly right now for B2B software? Are LinkedIn ads performing well?
Yeah, so for B2B software, LinkedIn ads performs best, especially if you can retarget those users who have fallen through your funnel. So those perform the best. So it is generally a funnel. People who don't even know about you, people who, first of all, people who don't have that problem that you are solving. Second, people who have the problem but don't know you. Third is people who have the problem, they know you but they don't trust you. Then people who know you, who trust you, and maybe they're considering you but they are not in budget, etc. So like from more top of the funnel to bottom of the funnel. So if you focus more on the mid funnel where people already know you but they don't trust you, and if you can make them aware with case studies, numbers, solutions, and how you can help them. So I would like to focus on that funnel in advertisements.
Awesome. And then so what's next? What's next for either the product or the marketing at Mailmodo with this AI agent product?
Yeah, so we are already very pleased with the reaction that we are getting from our customers. People are liking the outcomes and people are using it more and more. And I'm also seeing a trend in increase in number of campaigns going from all the customers. That means that they are sending more emails. What next we would want to do in the product is we will start recommending what people should be sending. So a
Mm,
lot of people still have to think what to send, what to create, etc. What we are going to do is we will scan your website. We'll know what industry you are, what products you are having, and what type of customer segments you have. And according to different customer segment, what kind of email campaigns would give you the best results in terms of your sales, leads, and other metrics. So we will start recommending campaigns for people, and people just will have to review and send it.
That's awesome. That's really nice. That's so useful. And like you can gather the data on previous campaigns and gather the data on the product itself and all of this context that's funneled in so that, yeah, that's really, really great. Cool. And then I always like to close on a question about taste because a lot of our episode is diving into those tactics. I love to hear people's opinions on taste. And so one of the questions I see coming up a lot right now is, do you think AI can ever develop a unique taste, and why or why not? I guess, what does that mean to you?
I think so. Yes, like in last 2 3 years, the AI has like came really long way. Like when it started, I think it came with just text, then images started coming along. Like Mid Journey had like crazy following, but it was just generating some random pics. For marketers, we needed like images, text, and relevant for users, relevant for personalities. With Google's Nano Banana, that has been now possible, and we see that a lot. The whole thing is going in a very positive direction, very fast. I feel that slowly what will happen in future is that there will be AI agents and they all will have emotions, persona, styles, and taste. So what I mean by that is that, let's say, you want there's an AI agent which just generate images or designs or copy according to in Marvel Comics style. And you can
Hmm.
use that AI agent to just generate whatever you want, like a video or audio or like images, your ads, copy, emails, etc. In that style. I think that would be like really possible and easy to do. So, and you can also create new agents with new taste, new emotions, or new style. That should easily be possible.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Well, thank you so much, Akib, for joining us. This was super educational and useful, and congrats on the launch. I'm excited to use this product. I'm sure a lot of our listeners would be too. And so thanks again.
Thank you, Shreya. I'm looking forward to you using the product, and I love your questions as well. I'm looking forward to listening to other podcasts that you are recording.
So appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much to Akib for joining us. Really enjoyed this episode, and I hope you learned a lot too. So some of the three things that I took away that I thought were the most little interesting and valuable nuggets is, first, remember that as much as founder-led marketing is a trend and is more successful now than just tweeting and sharing things from brands, also activate your employees in the wider network and then give them something interesting to talk about rather than just like, hey, we launched, look at our launch. Instead, have them kind of talk about their own relationship to the product or what need it solves for them, why they joined your company as an employee, things like that, that really help it resonate with their audience more and not just look like another spammy post. The second thing that I thought was really interesting is there's this trend of like really flashy, polished launch videos, but they're so expensive and they take a lot of time to put together. It's not realistic for every single company, and AI video is getting better and better every day. So really liked how Mailmodo used VO3's 8-second videos and stitched them together into a really fun and interesting video with character consistency. Check it out in the show notes. You absolutely cannot tell that it's like these little clips, and it's really fun, and it was a great solution for them that took only $50 in 4 days rather than tens of thousands or more with this huge campaign that you have to funnel a lot of time and energy into. And then the last thing that I thought was really great is just thinking and remembering that marketing is both an art and a science. So spend that time on the creative and artistic and storytelling side of what you're building to make sure you understand what will really resonate and stick. So Akib really emphasized that if he launched again, he would spend more time thinking about storytelling for the launch video. And then now they're doubling down on their best influencer creators because they've figured out that these story and creative driven tactics are the highest ROI. Thanks again for joining us.
Taste and Tactics is available on every major podcast platform and at Taste and Tactics on LinkedIn, X, TikTok, and Instagram. Thank you to our producer, Simran Honda. See you next week.